arrival official party.
Please take your seats. So I had asked Major Navarro, I'll call you Francis for this because your family's here, so it's much more personal, that he could have a chair to sit down. So if you want to take a seat, thank you, good. So now it's going to be longer than 30 seconds. So as you know, Francis wanted to have something small and informal, and then as we were talking, you know, his family was coming. So first I'd like to welcome his family. Colonel retired Hammerquist, his mom was Hammerquist, his sister Lorna, and their friend Felicia. So they came all the way from Kauai, so you can give them a round of applause. Most time when people come to promotion ceremonies in Hawaii in their military, they don't come all the way from Kauai. They come from somewhere like the mainland. But I really appreciate you guys making it out here for this, and it means a lot to not just Francis, but to the rest of us to actually get to meet his family. You know, we don't all get, we try to operate here together as a family because we spend so much time together. Sometimes, I would say all the time, more than we spend with our own family. But then they get to meet the extended family, everybody, see kind of how they were raised, where they come from, and do they really like them or not? You know, because right now, sister's kind of leaning away from them. Not that I'm watching body language. So, one thing though, even before we start talking about Francis, I want to talk about national treasure we have with us today, Colonel Hammerquist. So, for those that don't know, he served in World War II, the Korean War, and also Vietnam. He was at the Battle of the Bulge, and there's a book that we were just talking about, 11 Days in the Snow, that he actually lived, you know, during that time. And he was wounded in battle. He received the Distinguished Service Cross, or Distinguished Service Medal, and he was also nominated for the Congressional Medal of Honor. So, I mean, if that doesn't put this in perspective on what we're surrounded by today, I don't know what is. And just to have that lineage and serve, and to have you here with us today is really important to everyone in this room, because as we try to live up to what you've done for our country, that's what we all strive to do for everybody in this room. So thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
And I'd like to give you one of our coins.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, but it still matters a whole lot.
Well, but we saved. I did one thing on that little combat operation. I saved a major bridge by myself, because when we got there, the bridge was mined. Oh man, was it mined! It was just, I knew it was blowing sky high. And I went out on the bridge and I said, God, I can't cross the troops through this. Because they're going to pull it out, they'll tighten that knit when we're in the middle. So I went out myself and cut the wires. And I just got the last one cut before they blew it. I never told you about that.
Those are stories you don't want to know about, right? Also, you know, we talked about that. I'd heard that you just came out of demolition school, what, 4 weeks before that? Demolition school, where you got your wire cutters and you still carried them on you.
On his belt, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you talk about just-in-time training. So, sir, on behalf of all of us here and also the Air Force and the rest of us in military in uniform, I'd like to have you one of our coins.
Oh, look at there.
And Colonel, we actually found the bridge.
Everybody can see it.
Just recently.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And he
Very
says
welcome.
he's going to send the
Wonderful.
Germans a bill.
That was on the German border, 1947 or 8.
45.
45 was it? Anyway, I was a parachute.
44. You were December 44.
We jumped in there, and fortunately the Germans were about ready to quit anyway, and most of them moved out. So I got credit for helping save the bridge. So
That's great.
is that beautiful?
Yeah.
Do we get to keep it?
Absolutely. That is yours. Yes. Francis is still working on it. So we got to find him a bridge to save.
Well,
This was
in his
picked
career,
up with my little unit, and it was a big fight. We had a lot of combat back and forth, mostly the heavy stuff. But we were able to take our objective and try to save the bridge.
and actually he was hit 5 times by enemy fire.
I wish I could show you the bridge now. It was just loaded with TNT and similar explosives. I couldn't believe it, that they would spend that much effort, and this was about 4 miles ahead of the line. And we went by, they let me have 1 tank. They said, we want you to save this bridge. And I said, well, how do I do it? They said, well, you just go over there and stab it. So anyway, it turned out that this bridge was located about 4 or 5 miles, I guess, from the front line. And I said, well, how do I get there? They said, here, this is the tank. You can use the tank for transportation. My God, it worked, because I don't know whether the Germans were surprised, too surprised to take action, or whether they just allowed us to go through. I don't know. I never will know.
Well, no, you did, Russ.
That was way back in, what's it, 46?
No, you were there in 44.
45?
44 was when you went into the Battle of the Bulge, Christmas Eve, 44.
So that's great because sometimes I give the whole team here the same kind of directives. Like, oh, just go do this. And here's one little thing, and you'll figure it out. So you see, I come from a long line of great orders. Yeah, that's right. So see what kind of accomplishments you can make with just that little bit of, hey guys, go do this. Right there, Cronin? Right. So, with that, sir, thank you so much for sharing that and also being here with us. I know, I mean, I'd rather sit around and listen to you and do this kind of stuff and be at work any day. So we really appreciate that. You making it over here. So it's been really, it's very meaningful for us. I think even more so for us than anybody that we do, the things we do every day. Because as we get prepared to do what's going on in our theater now, I mean, we stand on your shoulders every day. So thank you very much. So with that, now I'll start talking about Francis. I think he fell asleep there for a second. So, you know, just go back just when I first met him. We got really fortunate to have him here. You know, there were some transitions and some things going on. He was originally had an assignment to Fort Meade in Maryland, and some things worked out. And I got a phone call and said, hey, we got this guy, Major Navarro. He might be able to come over to the staff with you. We might be able to switch somebody else to Meade, and then this person, he can come here to Hawaii. And it works out really well because his family is over there, his wife's family's on Oahu, and would you take him? And I said, well, okay, let me check first. I don't know Francis Navarro at the time. Let me check. I called his current boss, Colonel Severin Blankish, and asked, oh, he's going to be great. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. I said, are you sure? Are you sure he's going to be that great? I said, that's a pretty high standard. He goes, oh no, he's phenomenal. So of course I said right away, sure, we'll take Major Navarro out here. And the fact that it worked out for his family, couldn't be better. I had a situation like that for me in my career. So whenever you can support something like that, you do, and you try to. And so we were very fortunate to have him come in. Very commonly known around the office and actually in his building, and this is a big building, and anybody who deals with him, even over the phone, they call him the nicest person in the Air Force. So you know that. They talk about how nice he is. And then when his shipment came in, we also found that to be a little interesting. When we had already got a bunch of malasadas brought in to work all the time, and we thought maybe he's trying to butter us up so we like him. And then we had other, manapuas come in, and then he came up. He has all these donuts that he gets as I don't know, as awards, from all his spots he's been in. And we found that interesting. Then we learned that he just likes malasadas, and he had to have a reason to buy them. So then he was going to share them with us. So we ate a bunch of malasadas around here. And some people we had to put on a little weight, we had to take it off, and, just with him being here. But that's what he's known as across our command right now. So we've been very fortunate to have him. He was out here previously in Alaska, and did great work there in Alaska, and as I mentioned, at Scott Air Force Base. But I could go, like we normally do with these things, we talk about all these great things that he's done, and you start going back to second lieutenant, and say, oh, this was said about him, and that was said about him. I'm just going to say what I've experienced and what I've seen with him. And I think having the family here is the most important thing, because I know, as my parents or anybody's folks they want to hear that their their son or daughter's doing a good job, and they see everything out in the professional world that they saw at upbringing. So we have to kick him out of the office. There's many times where I walk out and I yell down the hall, because I know he's back there. And because he will do everything into the last minute. He will have to be told to go home. He works hard. The best thing I can say about him is he cares as deeply about everybody in this room as he does about somebody he's never met before that calls up and asks for assistance. I mean, the guy has the heart, of a lion when it comes to taking care of others. And you don't develop that. That's his upbringing. That's his family, and that's just how he was raised. So I thank you all for doing that and surrounding him, making him that kind of person. Because what we do on a day-to-day basis, it can be sometimes very distanced from who we're really supporting and what we're really doing for people. But Francis brings that internally, and he takes care of everybody, just like he's sitting right next to him, just like he's known him forever. It doesn't matter if it's somebody he doesn't even know who their name is. And the speed in which he walks around is sometimes dangerous. He's got long legs, and he's walking fast, and he's trying to take care of all those people. So I can't express enough to the family of the kind of person that you raised. And you give them to us, right? So you've given him his years, some of his youthful years, I'd say, to the Air Force, and he's done such great things overall. He's on our commander's screening board this year, so he might be getting matched to command on a selfish level. I hope he does it so he can stay here for another year. But that whole thing about taking care of others and taking care of people, that's what we go out and when we're commanders, that's what we're supposed to do. So he's 100% ready to go do that and really have a huge influence on the execution and what we do as an Air Force. So he's always prepared to take on tasks. I don't know how many times I've gone to him and given that same kind of direction that you received, sir. Hey, go take that bridge, and here's a tank, and go do this. I don't quite give him a tank. I sometimes give him Master and Carney, who's not here today. But I sometimes do that, and he goes and he accomplishes that mission all the time. So now it's recorded, maybe we can go there. So he does and gets that stuff done. So I think it's really important, one, for the family to know that, to just know how much confidence we have in him. Moving from major to lieutenant colonel is a big deal. Major's our first step in as being a field grade officer, but going up to lieutenant colonel now, he is can be a commander. We do have some lower level commands in our Air Force contracting, but in most services, is lieutenant colonel is where you start to command and take larger responsibility to do that. And the next step is to colonel. So it's a big deal. This is a big promotion. I know as much as he wanted to be short, 5 minutes. Obviously, I've talked longer than that. But I think it's a big deal for him to make lieutenant colonel. We're really proud of him. One, to get to serve with him, but two, to know all the great things he's going to continue to do. So with that, we're going to go ahead and do the official portion of the ceremony. And then we will we'll then do another official portion, and we'll break. And as you know, he's got a lot of food for everybody. So lots of food. So we'll go ahead, and if we can publish the orders, we'll do the official portion.
Attention to orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Major Francis Navarro. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in the higher grade, Major Francis Navarro is promoted to the grade of Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force, effective this first day of December 2017, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force.
Thank you. Thank you.
So sometimes we do something where you pen and you do all this kind of stuff.
Want to keep it informal.
I'm gonna not dress him. He's a lieutenant colonel now.
And you should all know, Colonel Carter's been very generous by letting me do it this way. He did wince a little bit when I asked him about this method.
Well, I thought he was gonna make me dress him.
Hey, may I say thank you to the crew that flew us into combat. They were great.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
We jump out,
Oh, there.
hit the ground, and they said it was about 2 miles to the bridge. And I said, well, give me a tank. And they gave me a tank, and I loaded it up the best I could. And we were probably operating about 2-3 miles ahead of the troops. And we got there, it was mine to defeat. Oh my God, we'll never get the troops across this bridge. They'll blow it for sure. But if luck would have it, for some reason the guy forgot to twist his little gadget that blew the bridge. And when we got there, it was still intact. Thank God. Because I would have been on the bridge.
So now we're going to administer the oath of office. So this is something that we traditionally do when anybody ever gets promoted. It's something that was done when he first was commissioned as a second lieutenant. So everybody can be seated.
Thank you.
You can see the difference since we didn't do the pinning. So, I state your name.
I, Francis Navarro,
Having been appointed Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air Force,
having been appointed Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Air
do
Force,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support and defend
to support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
That I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
And that I will and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the office upon which I'm about to enter.
the office of which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Lieutenant Colonel Navarro, the floor is yours.
I will keep it short. I just wanted to say thank you so much for everybody coming. I'm thrilled to death that my family could be here. I want to thank my office mates very much for helping me get this set up this morning. I'm truly blessed to be here. Jay and I were going to Fort Meade, Maryland. Like Colonel Yukari said, we were about a week and a half away from leaving. The movers were coming on Monday. It was a Thursday. Colonel Blinkush researched and set up this opportunity, and I thank him so much. I thank Colonel Yukari for taking a chance on me. He called me on the phone, and Colonel Blinkush called my wife at the time, and I put her on a speaker, and he talked to her, and she started screaming. And the whole office came over and was listening. So it's a blessing for us to be over here. It's great to have you here, Bob. You know, we don't have what your generation did over there was incredible. I've been on 5 deployments. I've worked with the Airborne. I've worked with the Marine Special Forces. I've worked with regular Army infantry guys, and what the folks do outside the wire is incredible. And contracting, we have such an important role to support those folks and help them get what they need. It's amazing what the folks who catch the bullets do. We are so lucky to be in the position we are and to have the opportunity to serve them and help them accomplish the mission. But I'm just very thankful for this opportunity and this day, and truly humble and grateful, and time to eat, I guess. Is that right? Yeah, well, I do have some raised to hand out, sorry.
Good job, sir.
Got some ladies.
Wow, look at that.
Oh,
Thank you very much for coming over.
my pleasure.
Felicia and I have never met, but any friend of my mom's is a friend of mine. My
And
mom.
mom is as much of a hero as dad.
Good night.
It was,
How do you do?
And Bob, for you, we're gonna mix up the masculinity and femininity and do a little bit of both. If you get the chance to talk to him already, he has, in his career and life, he has traveled the world. Served in Europe and Asia and the Pacific. He was here on island a few months, going through some initial training, a few months before Pearl Harbor. And unfortunately got shipped off before Pearl Harbor. So, oh, thank you.